While it's often said that the more you learn, the more you grow, this principle, while true, doesn't fully apply in the context of programming or web development. Welcome to Clarity Compass for Developers, a series dedicated to junior developers to find clarity, find purpose, and build and launch their own businesses successfully. I know it is overwhelming for you as a junior developer. There's a lot of frameworks, a lot of languages just rolling out. Every day you hear of new technologies that are rolling out. You feel like you have to learn everything to stay updated, right? Or else you are going to be left behind. So today you are learning JavaScript, and the next thing you know, you are jumping straight to machine learning. It feels like you are just jumping around, learning everything and juggling everything together. See, let me tell you the truth. You don't want to be the person that master everything. Master machine learning, master JavaScript front-end, app development. No, you don't want to be that person. You want to be the person that masters one skill and have in-depth knowledge on that skill or that language. You want to know why things are not changing for you as a junior developer? Well, stick around to find clarity. In this episode of Clarity Compass for Developers, I'll share with you why less is more and why focusing on one skill can really skyrocket your career and move you to success as a developer. Have you ever felt like you need to learn everything just to keep up as a developer? Front-end, back-end, machine learning, mobile apps, it's exhausting, isn't it? Let's talk about how developers often feel overwhelmed and how to really tackle the issue. Being a developer today is like running on a hamster wheel. You are constantly expected to keep up with front-end, back-end, and even machine learning. It never stops. The truth is, there will always be a new technology or a new tool that rolls out. So if you want to be that guy that chases all the new tools that roll out, you are going to suffer because you always feel overwhelmed, because every day there will always be a new technology or a new framework that just roll out. It's no wonder so many developers feel stuck or burn out. The industry makes us believe that to stay relevant, we need to know it all. You are learning React, the next day you hear of a language like Rust or Python, and you're like, oh, I need to learn it. And then what happens? You are creating an application and you hear of AI and machine learning and you say, okay, let me go and learn AI and machine learning so that I can incorporate or put it in my new application or system. So if you check, it's like a loop. You're just going around a loop, just constantly learning and going around a loop and not even mastering anything. This pressure doesn't just slow your learning. It can make you question whether you are good enough as a developer. Let's not forget the role of social media in all of this. Every day you see posts like, I just built my 10 full stack app. Here's how I've learned 5 new languages in a month. Imagine just going online and seeing posts like this. If you see this kind of posts, you feel like you are left out. You feel like the world is just moving. You are just at one place stuck, right? So social media can really hurt your health as a developer. That's why as a developer, you need to cut down on social media because it will not help you. It will only makes you feel insecure and makes you feel less of yourself as a developer. Let's just take it your age is 20 plus and you go online and you just see a 14-year kid or a 15-year kid just launching an application and you just started learning HTML. And how do you feel? You feel like you are left behind. You feel like all of the people have just proceeded and leave all of you, right? So always try to cut down on social media because it will not help you as a developer, or just try to limit it. But don't spend too much time on social media. The truth is, all those posts you are seeing, so the person didn't just achieve all of them in just one day. So it's just a journey. So the phase you are in, the person has been in that phase. I've been in your shoes before. And it's just a normal thing. It's just a phase. You're just beginning out. So you need to take things slow. And you should know to limit social media, especially if you are just starting out. Let me share a quick story to you. There was a time that I felt like I need to learn everything. So when I started, I learned C++, I learned C#, then I learned Java, Kotlin, JavaScript, Python, backend development. You see, I was just juggling everything together. Then one day, I just sat and relaxed, and then I realized that all of the things I was just learning was just useless. I was not using many of the languages I've just learned because I found out that I always enjoy front-end, even though I have knowledge on the other tools and the other frameworks, but I always enjoy front-end as a developer. Front-end was always the thing I've always enjoyed. I'm not saying go into front-end. Maybe you are into back-end and that is great. So I realized that if I don't put my focus on front-end, and that is what I like, it will hurt my journey. So I just doubled in and put all of my energy into front-end. Then I forget about back-end and the other languages. And now all my focus is always in front-end and nothing else. And to tell you the truth, it really paid off. That experience taught me the importance of focusing on one thing at a time. When I finally chose front-end development as my priority, everything changed. Here's the harsh truth. When you try to do it all, you end up mastering none of it. Instead of becoming a well-rounded expert, you become a jack of all trades and worse, a master of none. You don't have to be good in everything. You just have to be exceptional in one thing. Try to be the go-to person when it comes to one skill or one framework, like front-end or back-end, and that is all. Don't try to mix everything together. A jack of all trades might know many things, but a master of one thing will always stand out. When you specialize in one skill, you are the go-to expert in that field, right? Many companies out there will not try to go and employ a full-stack developer. No. When they're creating application, they don't employ full-stack developers. No, that's not how it works. They can employ a front-end developer and a back-end developer. And even in the front-end developer aspect, we have UI UX designers, we have motion designers. There are a lot of people in the front-end. If you check any of their skill, there's always a lot of sub-skills under that skill. I don't know about back-end, but front-end, we have UI designers, we have UX designers, we have graphic designers. There's a lot of skills under front-end, right? And you want to master everything and go and add back-end on top, add machine learning. So look, it will not just work. Consider this analogy. Just lightning a laser versus lightning a torchlight. A laser will just go straight and focus, while a torchlight will just scatter, because the laser is focused while the torchlight is not focused. That's why it's just scattering. And that's what you are going to end up. You know small about backend, you know small about frontend, you know small about machine learning, but you are not a master in any of them. Depth isn't just an advantage, it's your superpower in the competitive industry. Specialists don't just work on projects, they lead them. Specialists are higher in demand and their salaries are usually high because they lead teams, they lead projects. So look, for example, let's just take it, we are creating an application. Let's just take it the front end, for example. There will be someone that will be in charge of the UX, and there will be someone that will be in charge of the UI, and there will be someone that will be in charge of writing the codes. So just take the front end, for example, right? There'll be like 3, 4, or even 5 people leading the front end because those people are specialists in those key areas. So look, coding is not for everybody. It might be that you are even a UI UX designer. You don't need to even learn how to code. All you need to do is go and learn how to just design an application, learn how to use tools like Figma, Adobe XD to design a tool, because most people don't have the time and perseverance to learn coding. So such people can just go into UI design or UX design. So if you are a specialist in one area, you are going to lead that area. But if you want to be the guy that knows everything, then you never lead in any area. If you are the guy that learns front-end, back-end, machine learning, UI, UX, graphic design, so you think they want you to go and lead one area. No, they will not do that because they know you are not specialized in that area. So you just went and learned everything together, but you are not a master in any of the language or any of the framework. When you master one skill, you don't chase opportunities, they chase you. Focusing on one thing isn't limiting, it's liberating. Focusing on one thing makes you stop comparing yourself with others. Just imagine waking up every day and knowing exactly what you need to do, right? So that's how it feels when you just focus on one thing rather than focusing on everything. Today you are learning this, tomorrow you are learning the other thing. So you are just juggling everything together. So if you focus on one skill alone, you spend all your energy and time into mastering that skill and succeeding in that skill alone. And if you are focusing on one skill, it helps you stop comparing yourself with others. That's just the truth. Because if you go out, you just see people learning everything together. You want to always keep up with those people. So you are like, I need to learn this, I need to learn that. So what happens is that you are reacting to life, right? You are not even living at all. You are reacting to life. You are just reacting. Someone is learning JavaScript, machine learning. You feel like you need to learn to keep up. So you are reacting to that person. And if you are doing that, the person will always be ahead of you. And you are going to be behind because you are just following them. You are following what they are doing. And everything they do, you feel like you have to go and learn to always keep up with those kind of people. So look, I'm not saying you should ignore the other technologies and the other frameworks. That's not what I'm saying. You can always exploit them once you master one skill. But now, if you are starting out, just focus on mastering one skill. And if you master that skill, you can always exploit other new frameworks and other technologies. Mastery isn't about doing everything. It's about doing one thing so well that it transforms your career. What's the one thing I want to master? Start there and watch the doors of opportunity open for you. Passion is the fuel that keeps the fire of focus burning. Ask yourself these questions. What excites me? What could I see myself working for hours without getting bored? When you align your focus with your passion, it becomes easy. See, if you are doing something you are not enjoying, you will burn out and you will not even be productive on it, right? Just imagine spending lots of time doing something you are not enjoying. And imagine comparing yourself with someone that is doing what the person is enjoying. The person will always be ahead of you because the person is enjoying every process and you are not. You're just learning because of learning sake, but you are not enjoying the process. So you need to enjoy the process. That's why it is good to identify your passion and try to double down on your passion. Your passion could be design, front end, or back end. Just choose what excites you. Maybe you enjoy math, then you can go into AI and machine learning. Let's just take it, you hate math and you want to go into AI and machine learning. It will not just work out. That's just the truth because it's all about math, right? And if you want to go into it and hate math, it will not work for you. But compare yourself with somebody that loves math and the person goes into machine learning and AI. It will be easy for that person because the person is enjoying every process of it. And if you are enjoying the process and there's a setback or you just fall, it is easier for you to just roll up and continue the journey. So let me give you this exercise. Just take a piece of paper, write down all of the things that excites you that is related to development. It can be AI, front end, back end, UI, UX, mobile app development. Just pick out everything that excites you. It can also be game development. Just write down all of the things that excite you. And after you are done, you can always pick any of the skill. Then you can ask yourself, if I'm doing this skill free, will I be happy? That's just the question. If you are doing that skill for free, will you be happy? And if you are going to be happy, then that's the thing you want to put your focus on. But if you even pause for a moment, don't even think about even starting that skill or starting that framework. Your passion isn't just your starting point. It's your compass on this journey. What gets measured gets done. Set a timeline and stick to it. For the next 6 months, commit to learning, practicing, and building in this domain. Block out distractions. Try to have a roadmap you are following. Try to always know what you are doing each day. Try to set a time period for yourself. You can pick 6 months for each skill, and I'm sure you can always learn any of these skills within 6 months. Don't try to finish a skill or a framework in just 1 week or 2 weeks and you want to be a master in it. No, try to spend a lot of time. Just pick 6 months. I think 6 months is alright for you to master any of the skills out there. That's if you are dedicated to it. This isn't just about perfection, it's about the progress. So you want to keep moving. So don't spend a lot of time trying to perfect everything. So just keep on moving. That is better than trying to perfect everything. So spend at least 3 hours a day on that skill. Have a roadmap. Just set it 6 months straight. In that 6 months, you are going to focus on only that skill and only that skill alone. It can be a course you pick, right? And you can schedule all of the lessons from today to the next 6 months. Then you are going to put all of your focus in that skill, especially YouTube. And I advise not spending a lot of time on YouTube if you are a developer. Because if you go, there's a lot of videos out there and people are just trying to let you watch their videos. So you go and then there's this video that, okay, HTML is dead, JavaScript is dead, and you are learning JavaScript. And how do you feel, right? Imagine learning a framework and then you go on YouTube and someone just posts a video and say that JavaScript is dead or Node.js is dead. Those kind of videos, you want to avoid them. Nothing is dead. All of these languages, they are relevant and very important. So you need to block out distractions. Don't spend too much time on social media. So set your priorities, set all your lessons for the next 6 months and stay focused on that lesson. You can pick front-end or back-end or machine learning, but I don't recommend picking full stack. No. Just look front-end, back-end or machine learning. Just pick any of them and put all your focus on it and schedule all of the lessons for the next 6 months. Just spend a day scheduling all of the lessons for the next 6 months, and you don't have to spend each day. You can have breaks. So maybe Saturdays, Sundays, you can choose to say that, okay, Saturdays and Sundays I'm not going to learn anything, right? You can always use those days for something else. So make sure to have breaks. Don't try to learn every day. Just remove some of the days off. A focused 6 months can transform your career. Don't underestimate the power of consistency. Knowledge is potential, but action is power. Don't just learn passively. Build things that solve real problems. This will set you apart. So let's just take it, you have scheduled your 6 months, right? And you have started learning the skill. So don't just consume videos and tutorials. You have to learn how to solve real world problems with that skill you are learning. So learn how to create mini projects, mini and smaller projects that can solve real problems. So you don't need to go out and consume the tutorials and that is all. Learn to solve problems on your own. You can just start an application, start designing it or start developing it. So maybe let's just take it, you've learned UI UX. You can just take Figma for example and maybe pick an application, maybe a restaurant application, and try to just design that application in Figma. Or if you're learning machine learning, you can learn to maybe create a model and fine tune that model or something like that. Just try to solve real problems. So I'm not telling you to go and start complex projects. No, if you're learning out, don't go and start complex projects. Don't just go and start something huge and try to solve a huge problem. Don't do that. Try to solve many projects. Try to solve smaller projects. And once you have spent the whole 6 months on the course or the skill, and now you are confident about yourself, then you can go on and picking on bigger projects to solve. So if you build real world projects, you are always faced with a lot of difficulties and issues, and you even learn a lot. Me, for example, I've learned a lot creating projects than even tutorials, and I can honestly say that most of my times was always building something when I was even learning things like JavaScript. So I was always learning to build something, maybe a calculator, maybe a to-do application. My focus was always on how to solve problem with that skill I've just learned. But if I'm done with any lesson, I'll always look at the lesson and look at a mini project I can solve under that lesson. It's okay to start small. Remember, every expert was once a beginner. By focusing on one skill, you are giving yourself the gift of clarity, and that's priceless. Remember, the key isn't to know it all. The key is to know enough about what matters most to you. By focusing, you will find clarity, grow faster, and open doors you can never imagine. If there's anything you learn, mastering one skill is better than learning lots of frameworks and lots of skills out there. But let's just take it you've made up your mind. You have chosen the skill you are going to put all your focus in. But the next step is how to achieve it. How do you then learn the skill and master it? In episode 2 of Clarity Compass, we are going to solve this issue. I'm going to show you how to set clear actionable plans in learning any of the skill you have just picked for yourself. Mark your calendar for February 3rd, and I can't wait to help you master one skill and succeed at it.